I'm Tony. I'm the oldest brother, and I probably remember a lot more things than my brothers remember because I was 5 years earlier than they were, or 7 years for Ronnie. So I got to see my dad develop from a young person into a real father. You know, at first, you know, when you look at things that, as far as how a family functions, his history, where he came from, was not a functional family. And same thing where my mother came from. It was not functional. You know, my mother was a poor child. My father came. You know, it was a rough time. They had to spend a good amount of their time in a Catholic school. It was kind of a broken family. I mean, but as brothers and sisters, they kind of, try to keep things together. And so, as my father and mother raised us, they raised us as a functional family. And my father worked to the point where my mom didn't have to work, and she raised us as a family. And as a result, me and my brothers were very tight, very functional, and that turned out to be very important. So really, that brings up to what was my dad as far as his character? Those are the things that I always wondered about, even as I became an adult. He was the type of person that he gave you the freedom to do what you wanted to do with your life. You made your own decisions. He would give you a little bit of guidance, but he would not stand in the way of you meeting your goals. And that being said, that as simple as that sounds, is very complex coming from a person like him, because he had succeeded in becoming one of the highest-ranking NCOs in the Army, Command Sergeant Major. You know, he's commanding 800 men or whatever, whole divisions of soldiers, but yet when he came home, he knew who the boss was at home. So that being said too, it's very complex. Here's this person he's a leader. Obviously, he's a leader. He's driven to make and attain goals, but yet he has this kind, compassionate side of him, and that's where he left. That's what he left for his family. And so I'm very thankful that he was that way, and I'm sure everyone that has come to know him and love him should understand some of those things that happened with him. So.
Thank you. I want to say
Okay, hi, I'm Gina. I am Brianna's mom. I had the honor of coming over and helping the family take care of Pat for the last 2 weeks. The past 2 weeks for me, I think I laughed more the past 2 weeks sitting with Pat from 7:30 to 3:30 Monday through Friday than I have probably in the last 5 years. His smile, it just lit up the whole entire room. He was so appreciative of everything. But what I'm going to take away with it is he was one of the truest gentlemen that I have ever met in my entire life. He loved love. He loved love. He loved movies. I'm not going to tell you about the movies that we watched because one of them was a shocker. In the 1970s, I never knew, but anyhow, that's what my husband told me since then. That's why they were all played in the theaters then. They weren't played in homes. You had to go in and see them as an adult. But he loved his family. He loved his grandchildren, and they were his reason for going. The last week I was there, he had mentioned that there had been a couple of times in the past few years that he had felt really ill. I think once was right after Bunny passed. And then, I'm not sure, sometime last year, he said that Ron had to get him to the hospital. And when I turned around and looked at him, I said, well, it wasn't your time. Bunny knows you wanted to do more things with your grandchildren and watch them grow some more. And he said, you're absolutely right. And there was no place he would rather be than surrounded by all of his family that was there all the time. And I just want to thank the family for giving me the pleasure and the opportunity and the honor, because he took care of me as much as I took care of him. He gave me a reason to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, because I am not a morning person. I'm here to tell y'all that is not my thing. But I kind of feel a little lost now, and it was only 2 weeks, but he touched me just in that kind of a way. So.
All right, anybody? Everybody's okay? I'm just absolutely thankful.
Peggy Hiller and I met Pastor Jeannie when they walked into my model home. And we have this standard joke in our family that he's the only boyfriend, my husband, that we have. Because we just hit it off so well. We joke all the time. And as your mom just said, this man spelled love. And I too feel so honored and blessed because not only did I get to have him in my life, but his legacy all around us. With his grandchildren, his children, and people that love him. I mean, obviously, we all don't know each other, but we have a common bond. And that is Pat, and he will be missed because he was loved.
I'm just going to say once again, thank you all for coming. We want you to come on in. Let's talk, let's chat, let's laugh. Let's have something to eat and something to drink, and just remember the good times. Okay, come on in, thanks.
Amen. Women and children first.
I brought my coat out and never put it on.
I put mine up.
Hair don't help that
Party.
That's not all you look for when I go up to Laura. Where's Pat? Where's Pat?
I didn't know his name. He just said that's my brother. I don't think he told me his name. 11, that's all, yeah, that's almost a dozen.
They've always been here. It's like you can't leave us. It's weird because I was thinking of them lately, you know.
Mommy got me the pink business.
Because they come down here, you know, every once in a while. They look like a bottle of ketchup.
Hi.